Good afternoon. Thursday. In retirement, you tend to forget the days. I'm retired. Ken Arzone here, Vista, California. It's Thursday, February 3rd, 2022. Continuing my series on baseball as a numbers game, a book I wrote, 2022, Wasteland Press, available Amazon.com. Baseball is a numbers game. Examine the achievements and stats of Baseball Hall of Fame players. This is the fifth video, episode 333. And I'm on chapter 39. If you want to see what I've discussed in the previous 38 chapters, check out my videos on YouTube. Baseball is a numbers game. Okay, chapters 39. What if total pitching wins record? What if? We do know that Cy Young has the most wins, right? 511. But there are 75 baseball pitchers in the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. What if we do know that Cy Young played in 906 games, pitched in 906 games, and he won 511. What if the other 74 pitchers who are in the Hall of Fame pitched 906 games? What would their total wins be? Well, I went through all the pitchers and did an analysis. One through 75. What if all of them pitched 906 games, all pitched in the same era, all pitched in the same time travel dimension, on the same field at the same time, and had 906 games, every one of them? Who would be number one in wins? Do you know who? Al Spalding. He pitched in 347 games, and he won 252 of them. So his winning percentage was 0.72% of the time. Obviously, if he won 252 games. So if he pitched in 252 games, his winning percentage would be what? One win for every game he appeared in. But he appeared in 347 and won 252, so his percentage is 0.72. 3/4 of the time he won his games. Amazing. So I extrapolated and said, hey, if Al Spalding pitched in 906 games, how many wins would he have ended up with? All right, subtract 906. Take 906 and subtract 347. And what does that come out to? You got to add 559 more games for Al Spalding just to match 906 that Cy Young pitched in. And if he has a winning percentage of 0.72% of the time winning his games, he came out with 654 wins. Are you following? How about that? So according to my analysis and examination, Al Spalding would be number one in wins if he pitched in 906 games, according to the illustrious pace he was on of winning 0.72% of the time. Who came in number two? John Clarkson. 531 games he pitched in, and he won 328, so he had a winning percentage 0.61. He would have ended up with 556. He'd be ahead of Cy Young. 3, Kid Nichols, same scenario. 4, Christy Mathewson. 5, Charlie Radborn. Get prepared for that name because I'll be discussing him a lot. 6, Tim Keefe, and number 7 is Cy Young. According to the what if time travel scenario. What do you think? Rounding off the top 10, number 8, John Ward, number 9, Addie Joss, and number 10, Mickey Welsh. But I go through all 75, see how many games they won, what would their winning percentage be, get them all to pitch 906 games, and find out what their win totals would be. So Al Spalding, number 1, John Clarkson, number 2, Kid Nichols, Christy Mathewson, Charlie Radborn, Tim Keefe, Cy Young, number 7, 511 wins. Number 8, John Ward. Number 9, Addie Joss. And number 10, Mickey Welsh. What do you think of that what if scenario? That was chapter 39. Chapter 40, I do another scenario. What if total strikeout record? Who's number 1? Nolan Ryan, right? 5,714 strikeouts. But he did it in 807 games. So again, I do a scenario where all 75 pitchers pitch in 807 games in the same era, same time travel. What would their win or total strikeouts be? Who comes out number 1 here? Randy Johnson, because he had 7.9 strikeouts per game, average for his career. Pitched in 618 games, which is about 190, so less games than Nolan Ryan. So you got to add the games, 189 more games. If he's having 7.9 strikeouts per game, he would end up with 6,369 strikeouts if he pitched in 807 games, same as Nolan Ryan. So he had a better. So he's number 1. Number 2, Nolan Ryan. So he averaged 7.1 strikeouts per game. According to 807 games pitched, ended up with 5,714. The what if scenario, here's the top 10. Number 1, Randy Johnson. Number 2, Nolan Ryan. Number 3, Pedro Martinez. How about that? 4, Sandy Koufax. 5, Bob Gibson. 6, Rube Waddell, old school. 7, Steve Carlton. 8, Tom Seaver. 9, Bert Blyleven. And 10, Mike Mussina. I go through all 75, see how many games they pitched, how many strikeouts they averaged per game, and what they would have ended up with. What do you think of that scenario? That's chapter 40. Chapter 41 on pitchers. What if total innings pitched record? So I've done what if total wins, what if total strikeouts, and now what if total innings pitched. Who has the most innings? Cy Young, 7,356 innings pitched in 906 games. So let's do the time travel and see who comes out number 1 according to how many innings pitched they average per game pitched. Who comes out number 1? Charlie Radborn. 527 games. He averaged 8.6 innings per game. Incredible. So you got to add the more games. Since he pitched in 527, Cy Young has 906, so you add 379 more games for Charlie Radbourn to see how many innings he would have ended up with for his career according to the winning percentage he has. Following 8.6 strikeout or innings per game, get him up to 906 games, he ends up with 7,787 innings pitched. If he pitched 906 games, the same as Cy Young. You following? Who's number 2? John Clarkson. 3, Pud Calvin. 4, Mickey Welsh. 5, Tim Keefe. 6, John Ward. 7, Al Spalding. 8, Amos Russi. 9, Kid Nichols. And 10 would be Cy Young, because Cy Young, 906 games, 7,356 innings. But the other 9 guys ahead of him, if they pitched 906 games, would have more innings pitched than Cy Young. Charlie Radbourn leads that category. So who do we have winning the categories so far? Wins. Who wins it? Al Spalding. Strikeouts. Who wins it? Randy Johnson. Innings pitched. Who wins it? Charlie Radbourn. So what do you think of those scenarios as far as the 75 pitchers who are in the Baseball Hall of Fame? Too bad some of the other old schoolers didn't keep enough records, like a guy named, well, some of the Negro League players like Satchel Paige. Wonder how many wins he would have had, how many strikeouts he would have had, how many innings pitched he would have had. They say he won 600 games, but we don't have the record. Oh man, the legitimate stat record. And according to be entered in the baseball record books, it's got to be legitimate. It can't be supposition, right? All right, that does this episode 333, starting off with pitchers. Remember, baseball is a numbers game. I've got 84 chapters, and I'm up to chapter through 41. So the next video will focus on pitchers, and we'll go chapters 42 through 55, and you're going to be interested in what those chapters develop. Again, thanks for watching. Ken Artizone, Vista, California. The year 2022, the month February, the day February 3rd, and the time 3:55 p.m. on the West Coast, taking care of the Western Front. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. I'm out.